Okay, let's go back to regression for a moment. And in the last regression we did, we took this data and we tried to fit a curve to, in fact, let's look at that. We tried to fit a curve like this to the data. And we saw that that worked well. It was better than the linear regression, which was where? I guess here. There. Let's suppose we had used the linear regression. And in fact, let's do it again, because I want to look at what's called the residuals. So let's do it again. I did something wrong there. Regression. Here. Okay, the y variable goes from here to here, and the x variable goes from here to here. And let's get a residual plot as well as what we had before, which was the line fit plot. And I think that's all we need. Okay, let's right. I have to click labels, right? Okay, so we get the same kind of graph that we got before. Here, which we could just fix it. Like that. But we also get another graph now. Where is it? Let's get rid of this one. And here. Well, I shouldn't have gotten rid of that. Maybe I bring that back and just move it over here. And here's the other graph. Okay, so what is this? This is called the residual plot. And all it is if you look at this linear regression here, regression line, it's just the error off of the regression line. So basically it's like if you took this red line here and rotated it, suppose this is at a 45-degree angle now, you rotated it clockwise 45 degrees so it would be horizontal. Then this is the picture you would see, where basically now the x-axis is the regression line, and we can see the errors off of the regression line clearly. Okay, so that's what the residual plot shows us. So what does it show? What does it show us here for this particular data set and this particular linear model on this data set? Well, if you examine the residual plot and you see any kind of pattern, then that should suggest to you that you haven't captured all the information that was available in the data. If on the other hand, if there's no pattern visible, then you can, in other words, if all the dots are completely random in the residual plot, then you can feel confident that you've basically squeezed all of the information out of the data. However, here in this residual plot, there is definitely a pattern, right? There's kind of a, you can see it. It's kind of like a U shape. So it goes here, and then down, and then up. So there's definitely a pattern. So that tells us that we really haven't completely modeled the data. And on the other hand, if we did it I guess we could try it, but if we did it with the using the x squared term as well, I think the residual plot would be much more random. Okay, so that would mean that the x squared was maybe enough in terms of capturing or taking all the information out of the data. Okay, so and that leads us to the idea of what's called autocorrelation in the data. So we want to have, when we're finished modeling, we want to get all of the to have the residuals be completely random. But that won't happen, generally speaking, in the case of time series. So let's talk about that in the next video.